Tariff Wars 2.0, or is it 3.0 now? Welcome back,
I guess.
3.0. Welcome back once again, everybody. It has been another interesting week, man. It seems the macro never gets dull. It certainly keeps on our toes. Market's not liking it too terribly much, but Bitcoin's seen another dumping day today, down almost to 90,000, down under 91,000. But got that, a couple other stories to cover today, along with some charts. Our fearless leader, Jan, is out and about in the world, not going to be making it today. But as always, I've got Chartman Andrew, a.k.a. Simple Jack, here with me today. What are we seeing besides blood in the streets today, man?
Gold is breaking out to all-time highs.
Silver's looking good.
Yeah, so like obviously the metals is kind of where a lot of that risk is kind of floating towards right now. As you can see, equities, they are confirming a lot of these big bearish structures now. So the uptrend is on pause. As you can see, double tops are in, short reload zones, double tops. So it seems like this trade war is obviously not the most positive news for us. We saw what it did last time, or last couple times. So I don't expect it to be any different this time around. So I am preparing, the markets to be pretty weak here. And so mostly just sitting in cash, gonna wait for the dust to settle, let the market nuke, let it rebase, let it form new structures, and then we can kind of continue on and seeing whether we can continue on higher. But as of right now, we do have all the bearish confirmation. So I do expect lower prices. And, down here, you can see we have gaps, all the way below here. We just filled the gap here, essentially. But, yeah, I mean, it's looking a little heavy here, I got to say. And then if we go over to crypto, it's probably the same thing on crypto as well. Where's my charts? Charts. Here we go. So it's kind of unfortunate. Like, it seems like anytime we have this momentum building and markets are trying to break out, we get pushed back down. And essentially, it seems like the institutions, they don't want the markets to rally. Every time the kids are trying to push the market up, the institutions come in and they just kind of wipe us all out. So this is what we get for wanting these big players to come into the market. And now it's no longer the easy mode. Now we have to play the game very strategically, and there's going to be a lot of shenanigans back and forth. And it's a shame because, we talked about this weekly charts on Bitcoin, right? We talked about how, once we get this weekly double bottom printed, that should be a good sign. Technically, this is valid now, and even though we are getting a bit of a nuke here, as long as we don't lose these lows, this is still valid. So we still have, quite a bit of a gap here, all the way down to like 80K. So if the market does come back down here and then kind of like rebases and consolidates and hits back up higher, that would be the ideal situation. So I know like some like short time, lower time frame traders, they're going to be trying to trade this little range now, essentially the bottom of that double bottom to that confirmation level. And then you can see kind of like where the reload zone is. And the reload zone is essentially just against these wicks, these tails, I mean. And those could be pretty good areas for entry if you are looking for, shorter time frame type trades, leverage type trades. 78.6, those are always like my favorite levels to hit. And what did you know? It's right against that original candle body there. So candle body lows are always typically a good area for entry. You hit it twice here already. You hit it once here. You hit it twice here. Maybe we have to hit it again for the third time. And then we can kind of reverse and get out of here. But yeah, my biggest fear is that we do lose these lows. And once we lose these lows, once we lose 80K, then, my reload zone is going all the way down to 65K off of this range. But then realistically, if we are looking at a much higher range, then it might even be even lower, which, people don't want to hear.
No.
So like we're sitting against these 78.6. I think we do have to kind of retest and see coming back down to that area. And then if we're lucky, we can just kind of like pause the selling after today. Today, the market comes back online. It was a long weekend, so there was a lot of fluff. So a lot of this fluff has to be washed out. Momentum on the daily looks pretty bad. We got bearish divergences now coming in on the MACD. So momentum is shot. Things are kind of breaking down here. So I think now the downtrend is coming back. Hopefully it's not too strong and we just kind of, do something like this ideally, and then we can kind of continue back higher and then, confirm this larger W. But at the moment, we just have to wait. There's really not much to do here. Too late, too short, too early, too long. And we just have to wait, Ethereum is probably going to be just the same. We tried to break out. We almost had the weekly on this one. Just couldn't get to that level there. So we are just retesting the breakout again. And same idea. As long as we don't lose these lows, we're going to probably still stay in our longs. And then, if we do come back and test these like handle body lows here, this is kind of like the area that I would be hunting and looking for to reload, at least to add here. But yeah, it's looking pretty bearish at the moment. Bearish divs as well in the momentum signal here. And I think until this like trade war kind of gets resolved again, or at least a new topic takes over the news cycle, I think we're in a little bit of deep water.
Yeah, I don't know how quickly this situation will resume. It's a little different than previous trade wars where it was trying to figure out what rates each jurisdiction was going to charge each other, who was going to come to the table there. Now it's very clearly about Greenland. So I don't know how quickly this gets resolved. Maybe Denmark comes to the table and decides they've already started having talks. I guess I'm certainly no expert on what's going on with Greenland and how those talks have been going, but they were in Washington, I think it was into last week. So talks are underway. Maybe an offer gets put on the table and things get accepted here in the near future and these tariffs all go away, or maybe these continue to drag out well into the spring or maybe even summer. We'll see. I'm not sure, but it's definitely a more complicated and complex situation than before. Not that before was uncomplex. But I think outside of these kind of almost freak economic things that are going on, everything else in the macro looks great.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. It's like I said, we had some really good momentum there starting off the year. Things were kind of popping off. Even in the alt markets, you're seeing a lot of these like random shit coins going off. But yeah, unfortunately now things are kind of reversing and momentum gets shot, and we're right back down to hard mode. So, you can see the dominance chart. Altcoins are starting to get wrecked here. Stablecoin dominance is flying, as well as Bitcoin dominance is picking up here actually as well. So seems like a lot of the rotation is going back to Bitcoin and stables. Alts are kind of getting washed here. If you look at overall charts, we're even about to break new lows on some of these, which is unfortunate. We had the W breakouts, then you get the double tops come in, and then you get the lows wiped out. So once you get those lows wiped out, we're gonna have to wait for another new consolidation. It just seems like the alt markets are not. It's just not a good place to be, unless you're in privacy coins. And you get.
Is there any outliers that are looking all right?
I don't know. Let's see. Every day there's something new. Looks like meme coin shit is popping off again. I think the trenches were getting kind of popular. So every day you just kind of look through and kind of see what the top things are. Like even Bearchain is actually on a rip here. But these are not sustainable. These are most likely going to get nuked, especially as Bitcoin and ETH kind of falls down here. But maybe not. Who knows? There's definitely always outliers, right? Like my old trading teacher used to say, there's always a bull market somewhere. And all you can do is you try your best hitting your setups. You can try to keep buying these double bottoms along the bottom of the ranges, and then hope that these like market makers or whatever will find these low liquidity coins you're in, and then they'll do the pump and dump scheme they do all the time. But other than that, it's just like, yeah, I mean, it's quite bare. I think a lot of names are getting washed again at the moment. As you can see, a lot of lows are starting to break down, and it's just I don't think it's an alt cycle. I think we talked about last year being like, the end of the cycles here, and I think a lot of that price action is being shown here right now. Alts can't catch a break here. Even like I got stopped out on all my positions pretty much mostly. I think I only have like 3 left that are still open, but for the most part, I'm just sitting in cash, piling up in Bitcoin, and I think that's kind of like your safest bet is just trading Bitcoin and Ethereum, because at least you're not going to lose like 50% in one day. So yeah, it seems like the markets are definitely getting a wash here. Probably gonna have to wait to maybe midweek and see how the market resolves. It is the long week, first day back from the long weekend. Maybe we get like a hero candle that just kind of comes in and saves the bleeding. But I don't know. Equities look pretty weak. Everything looks pretty weak here. Gold is flying higher. So there's a lot of fear in the market, especially with the uncertainty with how the tariff stuff's going to happen. And generally, the market doesn't like uncertainty, so it's being reflected right now across the charts.
Well, 2025 certainly didn't go as people were expecting it to, and looks like 2026 is going to be another year of your guess is as good as anybody else's. I think it's going to be a very unpredictable year, hard to judge. A lot of the traditional, like you said, easy mode's over. A lot of the traditional patterns are busted, and people are unsure. People are expecting pumps. We're getting dumps. Get more sideways. I don't know. It's going to be an interesting year, a tough year. I think again, people that have patience, people that can wait things out, people that can stick with the markets and not give up are going to get rewarded in the long run. Now, how long that long run is going to be? It's going to be another 3 months, 6 months, another 3 years. Don't know.
Yeah, hard to say. It's we still have how many days left of this month? Got about like a week and a half here. It will be interesting to see what the Jan barometer looks like. So after the first month, we can kind of take a look, and then we'll see how the markets look after, and see what the seasonality charts are kind of pointing towards. So it's looking pretty bleak at the moment, but market might come back. So.
Well, we've been working towards more and more economic outlook or economic calendar events. We've been looking at this the last couple weeks here. Whoops. There we go. Big ones this week. Great Britain's CPI is coming in. We got President Trump speaking tomorrow. I think that is going to be very highly anticipated, as that will be a major update on what's going on with the tariffs, what's going on with the Greenland situation, what's going on with the Fed, the rate cuts, the firing of Powell situation, the lawsuit or the subpoena against Powell. A lot of stuff going on in the economic world right now. Going to be interesting to see what Trump has to say on Wednesday, whether that helps to qualm some of the fears or add some fuel to the flames. We'll find out soon. But initial jobless claims also this week, core PCE this week. We got crude oil inventories as well coming out to round out the week. And then next week, of course, on the 29th, so a little over a week, we've got the interest rate decision. Not looking great right now. My bets are getting crushed. 87% chance, no change. It's going to be a wild one if it comes out the other way. What do we look? What's our that's $20 up to 10 grand.
What the fuck?
Point cuts. 20 bucks on 25 basis points even gets you.
Yeah. It's legit like a lottery ticket. You just put like, yeah, put $10 in.
It is a literal lottery ticket. The prediction markets are sometimes all it takes is one person to come in and make a large bet on one of the other sides, and everyone's like, what does he know? Is this some insider? What's going on? And then all of a sudden the rates just massively flip around. Seen that happen plenty of times here. But I still think there's a little bit of information coming out this week. The speech, job reports, and that between now and then that could change us around a little bit. It has changed since we started covering it 2 weeks ago, but not for the better, at least for those of us that are bidding on the rate cuts in January, which the market would respond very positively to seeing a unexpected rate cut. That's typically what pumps up the most, is when we get something that nobody is expecting or dumps it the most. But it looks like stock market futures extend their decline as well. Not just the crypto that's dumping here. Many people are saying it's part of Trump's tariff playbook that he's been using throughout his second term here. And it's been effective. Will it be effective again here with the Greenland debates? Is that his ultimate goal? I've seen a lot of people posting about Trump playing 5D chess with this whole Greenland thing. And it's not a bad theory. Throughout his first term and the beginning of the second year, with all the Ukrainian, Russian war, people are no stranger to the fact that the U.S. has been footing the defense bill for Europe for decades, my entire lifetime, funding all of NATO. And Trump has been pushing all the European countries, hey, you guys need to start spending more money on your own defense. Like, we can't keep doing this forever. You need to rebuild up your armies. You need to invest money and all this stuff. It's the call has not been answered. They have not, put the amount of money you would expect to see towards their own defense. That is until Trump says he wants to buy Greenland. Now everybody coming out of the woodwork saying that they're going to spend trillions of dollars on Europeans' defense. Germany saying they're going to dedicate 5% of their GDP to rebuilding their army and military tech, et cetera. So does he actually want Greenland that bad, or is this just a long-term play to get Europe to start building up their own defense budgets? I don't know. In any case, it's an interesting story unfolding, and it's having major impacts on the markets right now.
Yeah, I wonder if this is going to cause like World War III.
I don't think it's. I don't think that's where we're headed. It's. And if it is, it's just one matchstick in a large pile.
Yeah, no kidding. Because if he takes over Greenland, he's going to come right for Canada right after. So I'm like,
well, that's one of the things. Again, I'm not following it terribly close, but people keep saying take over and invade. Like, I don't think that's ever been on the table. It's always been like the U.S. wants to buy Greenland. No one's ever threatened to invade Greenland. Yeah. Again, I don't know. I try not to get too involved in that stuff.
Yeah.
Positive news on Ethereum. Ethereum hit record usage, all-time high transaction volume, with near zero gas fees. It seems they finally may have figured out Ethereum. They finally have made Ethereum usable and aligned with what it's always been trying to be. In the past, anytime we've had any sort of volume surges on Ethereum, we've seen fees last cycle go to hundreds, sometimes thousands of dollars.
I've seen thousands, bro. Yeah. I remember, fuck, dude, those were wild days seeing gas like fly up so high. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but yeah, I noticed that too. Like, it's like super cheap now. Like,
a few cents, like what it should be. They're Vitalik really pushing to kind of get back to their roots, saying they've gotten away from what the most important aspects of what they've been building are. Here we go. Said he's going to focus on boosting private payments, making it easier to run nodes, making truly decentralized apps that don't rely on centralized servers, and giving users better control over their data and assets, along with their push for decentralized stable coins, financial self-sovereignty, etc. All the things we dreamed about when Ethereum was created with their white paper. Hopefully now getting back to the roots. So took a long roundabout way to get there. I've gone from being an Ethereum hater to starting to love Ethereum and what they're doing. But it's because it's usable. And love the fact that they're pushing for privacy, especially as we see more and more of these regulatory crackdowns like MiCA in the EU and what they're trying to push through now in the US with the new Clarity Act that really take away users' privacy rights and right to build decentralized apps, control your own finance, et cetera, which is really the whole purpose of blockchain from the get-go.
Yeah. Yeah, we need
probably the biggest news out there today, New York Stock Exchange announces a new tokenization platform that will be offering trading 24/7 with instant settlements, stablecoin-based funding, and tokens natively issued as digital securities. It's something that's been speculated upon for a long time. It's just one more step towards the ultimate realization of a lot of the RWA dreams out there. Everything's going to be tokenized someday, they say. Well, this is a big step in that direction.
Yeah, 24/7 hour trading. Oh my God. It was already stressful enough. Here we go. Here we go.
I believe there's crypto as a whole will benefit from this. It's going to drive transaction volumes on multiple different networks, give a lot of runway to new stable coins. But I believe this particular, the platform they're building is going to be running on Canton network. So Canton kind of fallen out of the news recently until their partnership with the New York Stock Exchange. Don't know much about Canton. Don't know why they chose that network, if that's good, bad, or otherwise. But if you are a Canton fan, maybe drop us a line below. Tell us what the inside scoop is on that.
Yeah, this is interesting.
Oh
yeah, Paradex had some nasty shit happen to them the other day.
Yeah, Starknet. I don't remember if we posted this or we were just sharing this around. Starknet's had a rough go of things recently. Something like they had like 10 transactions the other day or something total. Not living up to the dreams that they had for it. But the Starknet-based Paradex announced the chain rollback on block, whatever there, after a database migration error briefly sent Bitcoin's price to zero, triggering mass liquidations. That's not what you want. If you've got trades in place and a coding error, a database error liquidates you, I'd be a little upset with that. I don't know if they have any plans on refunding people or making people whole or fixing this, but obviously not good for Paradex and not good for Starknet, which is already a struggling chain at the moment.
Yeah, honestly, I think a lot of people I know a lot of traders that got wrecked yesterday on this, and the company was pretty quiet for a long time. I don't know if they actually heard back from them yet. I gotta follow up on that, but not the way you want to go if you're trying to be a leading Paradex here.
Yeah, and again, a lot of critiques out here, rightly so, around the decentralization of this blockchain and this DEX. DEX and rollback can't be in the same sentence. Nothing says decentralized like the undo button. Why have you used the blockchain if you roll back so easy? Just use SLQ database. Very understandable critiques there. That's been long critiques of DeFi in general. Is how decentralized really are most of these decentralized quote unquote platforms.
Yeah, not so much.
Well, a little hopium here. Seeing more and more people talking about Bitcoin tracing gold structure almost perfectly before the epic parabolic run in the 1970s that we see here. A lot of parallels. The charts do look very, very eerily similar. I would love to see this absolutely rip to the upside. But again, I think people, when we see stuff like this, we expect this to happen tomorrow. Well, if you look at the actual time frame that they're looking at on here, this is over months. Years.
Yeah.
Just across years here. not across a few months. So we could see a lot more downside. We could see most of the rest of the year be terrible before this really kicks off. But I think, again, it goes for the long term. Zoom out. Where are we going to be in 5 years? If we got to suffer through one more year of shenanigans, down prices, holding on for our lives, but then we get a run up to $500,000, $1 million Bitcoin over the next 10 years. Again, patient people are going to be rewarded here.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Just trade Bitcoin. Fuck these alts.
Speaking of the alts, everybody's favorite pump fund on Solana, pump fund announcing a new fund, a benevolent $3 million set aside for a hackathon. I mean, they only raised like $2 billion, so they're being conservative with their funds. But yeah, $3 million that will back 12 projects, $250K each at a $10 million valuation. Funding being driven by market participation rather than traditional VC selection. I do like that part about it. What type of projects is Pump Fund going to be supporting? I don't know. Probably a bunch of shit, meme coin-esque or meme coin infrastructure type projects. One project that I have been following that I don't see in here is Pumpcade, that they're going to be trying to get their hands on some of this stuff here. But yeah, Pumpcade, pretty interesting project here. They're building essentially prediction markets for live stream events that you can bid in the moment. Primarily, they're integrated with Twitch and the other streaming platforms for gaming. This can be applied to all different kinds of things. Already getting a ton of hype around the tech, around what the community that they're building and the opportunities there. Gaming community seeming to love this. I'm interested to see where this goes, if they could get some attention from this new Pump Fund incubation or whatever grants this program that they've got going here. But shout out Pumpcade, building some cool stuff over there. Speculate everywhere, currently in private beta. You can check them out, K.market or at Pumpcade on X here. They're not a partner or anything, just a cool project that I've found and been paying attention to recently. A little alpha for you there. Get in before, not financial advice, but like I said, there's always a bull market somewhere.
Yeah, prediction markets, gambling sites, these are all very hot.
Well, yeah, right now. That's what I like. All right, it's prediction market, one of the hottest trends. It's meme coins, one of the hottest things that's never going to go away. And it's gaming. It's allowing you to essentially, gamble on your favorite gaming combined with some meme coins. I mean, people are going to eat that up. So if they can catch a bid, that's an interesting one.
Yeah, I might actually play around with it, to be honest. I watch live gaming all the time.
Tokenized assets, fastest growing sector in crypto. Stablecoin market cap passing 307 billion. I don't think it's any surprise there at all. This number probably about to absolutely pop off as we get the new stock exchange tokenizing all those assets. I would imagine that's going to be pretty popular. Trading firms already trade every millisecond they possibly can. You have after what do they call the after hours markets or pre markets? Well, now they're gonna be able to trade 24/7. This is gonna be a massive opportunity. I'm sure all of the traditional funds and trading desks are out there scrambling, trying to figure out how to get ahead here, which AI to use. Everybody's watching vibe coding tutorials on Claude.
I'd be betting on stablecoin. Like there's going to be so much more volume coming in with this New York Stock Exchange rolling in because they're going to be using stablecoins, right? So I think they're using like USDC or USDT.
Probably a mix of a lot of different stablecoins. Yeah, imagine the big banks like JP Morgan are going to be using their own native tokens. Yeah, it's all unfolding. It's gonna be interesting. We're gonna blink and then it's gonna be 5 years down the road and literally everything's gonna be on chain. Where our banks are gonna be on chain, all of our stock trading is gonna be on chain, retirement portfolios are gonna be on chain. We'll look back at this as fond memories, wishing we would have got into the right things earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Don't let that be you. What else we got? Privacy coins, very, very popular still. Probably one of the hottest narratives
Yeah.
in the moment here.
That fucking dust, bro. Oh my god, that thing ran so hard the last like few days. Oh my god, thing did like a freaking like 6x, 7x from the bottom, just in like in like a month's time. It's
You
crazy.
got the chart?
Yeah, like I was watching this freaking thing. I watched it break out here, and I was like, oh wow, that was cool. And then it just like kept going.
Kept going.
So like, yeah, if you are a sharpshooter, if you are listening to all the concepts we talk about here, and you buy in these reload zones, you buy at these double bottoms, you could have had yourself a very nice ticket here. But I mean, I personally missed it myself too. I wasn't paying attention to this piece of shit. Dash, we talked about Dash on the stream the other day, or the other stream, and that one hit our double. We were watching at it just as it was starting to break out here. And then pretty much after our stream, it popped off. And then pretty much it would have been a nice little double there as well. And then ARPA is another one that just started popping off yesterday. Yeah, it seems like you're either lucky in the meme trenches or privacy coins at the moment.
Yeah. A lot of people using new techniques. This is one of them to try and find coins, social mentions. The issue with that, Zcash, if you look at their price, it's not doing well.
No, same with
social
Star.
mentions. Yeah. Social mentions in some of these cases are because they're eating shit, not because people are excited about buying them. In some cases, like Dusk, it is all about the narrative and the pop off there. So definitely can be a useful tool, but just because it has a high social mentions doesn't mean it's necessarily a good token to buy. So got to take it with a little grain of salt, understand what you're looking at, like any system, any chart. It's important to understand, how and the what behind it, not just, CEO, their number one social mentions. It must be ready to go up.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's what we got for you today. Not too many stories in the crypto sphere outside of what's going on in the macro environment. That's pretty much dominating everybody's news feed is Greenland, tariff. And if you're in the US, ICE protests. So not
a lot
much.
of shit's popping off in the US for that right now. Like Minnesota is going crazy.
Yeah, I hope it's all settled down by the time I go back this spring. I don't want to deal with any of that bullshit.
Oh man, I think it's just starting. I think it's just starting to.
I fear that it is as well. That's all right. I'm going out in the middle of nowhere, and I'm going to hang out in a countryside farm, so I should be away from all that.
Yeah, that'd be good. Just don't be in the city.
Nope.
Yeah,
I tend to stay away from the cities anyways.
Yeah.
Stay strapped or get clapped, baby. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Hope you enjoyed the charts. A couple of these news stories here. If you got something you want us to take a look at, any charts for us to analyze, any stories for us to cover, let us know in the comments below. And as always, we'll see you on Thursday. Later.
See you guys.